Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we have a new product to test out. I went ahead and picked up a Nokta Simplex. Now I've heard a lot of great things about this metal detector and I'm a big fan of my MXT, but I thought I would give this metal detector a try. Now a few things right off the bat that I like about this is that it's got multiple frequencies. So when I'm going around, I can hear whether or not it's an iron tone, a mid tone, or a higher tone, which might give me a quarter or some silver. Another thing that I really like about this is just how small I can compact this down. I mean, look at that. That is awesome. Not to mention the fact that I can just take it apart really easily to put inside of a backpack, hypothetically. So I'm pretty happy about getting this. Now, the machine is 12 kilohertz, and that means that it's great for coins and relics and stuff like that. Oh, having kind of a hard time getting back together. There we go. It's also got different functions. So it has field, which is very deep and can get down in there, but not very good if you're, say, at a park. So they gave you two park modes, Park 1 and Park 2. I recommend playing around with each one of those. I've been jumping back and forth, and I really like both of those. Now, it also has a beach mode, and a lot of people have said that that beach mode isn't actually very good at the beach, but that's because beaches can be very unpredictable with what's in the sand. And then the last mode is all metal mode. And that's exactly what it is. It's all metal. But I like those parks. I like having the multiple tones. Now today, we're running around my hometown. Not my hometown, the town that I live in. I actually grew up in Northeast Oregon. This town is pretty cool. They know it as Halloweentown. It was in a movie called Halloweentown. The courthouse was featured in it. The whole downtown was actually decorated to look like the movie. And every year for the last few years, they've been kind of going with that theme and trying to get more people to come to the town. Now the house that's behind me here was actually built in 1885, and it's right above the downtown area. In the drone shot that I'm showing, you can actually see it right here. I'm going to try to put a little circle on there, or an arrow, so that you can see. Now we're going to be going around here metal detecting. This has had a lot of people here. The house is kind of run down and my buddies are actually renovating it. So I suspect that we're going to have a lot of trash in the ground, but I'm hoping to pick up some change, maybe some silver. This machine is pretty new to me, so it's going to be a learning curve. I didn't bring my MXT. I will bring that back at a later point and go back over everywhere I've gone today so that we can have a good comparison. I plan on running in primarily Park 1 and 2, and we're going to see what we can find. Let's go. Okay, so I've already pulled 2 quarters, those right there, out of this hole. And I'm still getting some signals in here, so we're going to see what else we find. Another nail. Okay, so we're getting a signal in the 90s, and when I go in a circle around it, it's staying in the high numbers, so it's worth digging. So we're gonna do a live dig on this and see what we find. Put this on silent because it gets mad when I turn on my pinpointer. Go. Another quarter. 91. So far that's a 91. All these are recent quarters that we found so far. All right. Another quarter in the bank. Let's keep searching. Just so we can see what it is. I think we got a couple targets. penny. First penny with the dig. $19.88. I got excited for a second. This one's still pretty shiny, but it's not silver. So one thing that I would like to point out that I really like about this machine right off the bat is just how quick and easy it is to ground balance that big ass coil that they have. So we just hit the menu button twice. It goes to the ground balancing mode. We're gonna hold this button down. 1, 2, 3 beeps, and we're ground balanced. We hit the return button. We're back to the main menu. We're in park 1 right now, and we're just gonna start seeing what we can find. You can already hear some of the trash in the ground, so this is gonna be a really interesting hunt. Let's go. Whatever this is came up in the 70s. A piece of glass. It's a bottle cap. Oh, little 22 shell. Cool. That's $19.84. Very green. So this machine has a lot of power packed into it for being what they're calling a beginner's machine. Check this out. So you can hear that my machine's not chattering at all. Now you would think that this is chatter when I put it up against the ground, but really it's just the amount of trash in the ground and this machine trying to give me a lot of information. Watch this. But if I move slow, I can start to get these individual signals, because this is really trashy ground. But if I'm moving over it, you would think that you are getting a bunch of chatter right now. Now I can lower down the threshold, and you can see that it's still getting just as much because there's that much trash in the ground. But I really like that with this machine so far, I can really pick out these targets and check out each one individually. But so far I'd have to say I'm really impressed with the depth and the power of this machine. Look, when it's shortened up, it'll stand on its own. How freaking adorable is that? So we've made over $1 at this location. I think we're at $1.12. Nothing old, but we got a good feel for what's around the house, and we can always come back. I also feel like I'm figuring out this machine pretty quick. It's pretty simple. I wouldn't necessarily call it a beginner's machine, but it's a pretty good machine to get started on if you haven't had one before. My boss just called the "we gotta go help at Chipotle" out in Portland, but I'm gonna take this detector with us, so maybe we'll find a place out there. If not, I'll see you at the end of the video where I give you my final thoughts on the machine. So I finished up that job pretty quick, and I stopped off here at this school on my way back home. We're just gonna hit through here really quick. That way I can play with the machine a little bit more, and then I'm gonna give my final thoughts on my first real day using the Simplex. Let's see what we find here. So we made it back to the house, and what are my final thoughts on the Nokta Macro Simplex after my very first day of really using this? I'm pretty impressed. Now, I didn't buy the headphones with this, and back at Christmas time they were actually doing a deal where you would get a pinpointer, and I heard that here soon, if you buy one of these, you actually are going to be getting the smaller coil. I believe it's called the SP24, and that's a much smaller coil for trashy areas like we were at today, and that's a pretty good deal. I mean, free. I'm gonna have to buy that coil. So if you're interested in getting one of these, you may want to wait a little bit and see what happens. You can also call Gary down at Capital Prospecting in Salem, Oregon, and he can let you know what deals they're going to be doing, because he's actually a dealer for them. I actually bought this from his shop. So thank you, Gary. I've really enjoyed this. I bought one of these for my wife as well, so that we can both be using these in an area and really get an idea for how they work. Another thing I really like about this is the fact that it's waterproof. So I can go into swimming holes this summer and hopefully find some lost jewelry. And I think today I went probably around 5 hours of metal detecting, and I can't see any change on the battery indicator. So that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna keep running it and see how long it takes to actually drain this battery. My wife's machine has been up on the wall for a while, and I checked her battery and it's still fully charged. So these things don't just discharge on their own like some electronics like my old GoPro used to. So I'm pretty happy with it. Now, one thing I did do right off the bat was I bought the carbon fiber lower shaft, and that dropped the weight and stiffened it up, because if you have this thing fully extended with the big coil on, it is kind of wobbly. Once you put the carbon fiber shaft on though, it gets really stiff really quick. Now, I do hope at some point that they change the mid shaft with a carbon fiber, or hopefully I could actually replace this shaft with an entire single piece carbon fiber. That would be great too, but then I would lose the ability to collapse it down, which is one reason why I got this. So I'm pretty happy with it. I do plan on getting a Mine Lab Gold Monster at some point. I think that's a nice quick little machine for hopping out and going detecting on the tailings. But for coin shooting and jewelry hunting, I think I'm gonna really enjoy this, and I really look forward to meeting up with Chris here soon so we can run this next to his Equinox 800 and we can do a comparison on that. I will be going back to the site that we were at today with my MXT, and we're gonna go back over all that ground again and see what we can find to see if there's any difference between these two machines. But I have to say, this has a lot of power, and other than it actually telling you what it thinks is under the ground like the MXT, so far I would say it's holding its own against the MXT. And the fact that it's lighter possibly puts it in the lead. So I'm really looking forward to putting this thing through the paces. I'm gonna need to get a screen protector for this, because I'm gonna be taking this with me to work every day, and every chance that I get to take it out, I'm gonna be doing it. So yeah, if you're looking to get your first machine, I would highly recommend this. And remember, I'm not sponsored. This is just my pure opinion on this machine. And the fact that it can stand up on its own when it's all short, that's just funny to me. I love that, because then I can just set it next to me and know that it's just right there. So guys, thanks for tuning in on this video. I really enjoy showing you guys all the new stuff that we get. Make sure that you like the video and subscribe down below. I'm going to be trying to put out a lot more content now that the weather's nice. So as always guys, bye.